and also to the people of Kenya, young and old, this house is yours. Carry it, lift it, let it thrive. Why? Wote ni wa Kenya. We're all Kenyans. I thank you. Asante sana.
Another round of applause for Professor Patrick for his passionate speech. Your Excellency, allow me to also recognize the presence of Mrs. Zainab Hawa Bangura, the Undersecretary, Director General, United Nations Office at Nairobi. As I also call on the next speaker, at this point, allow me to invite the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Public Service, Human Capital Development, and Special Forums, Honorable Ruku, to make his remarks. Please, let's give him a hand of applause as he comes in. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces or Defense Forces. Before I make my remarks, Your Excellency, allow me to invite my colleague, my sister, Cabinet Secretary for Forestry, Environment and Natural Resources, Dr. Barasa. Welcome.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency Ban Ki-moon, 8th Secretary General of the United Nations and Honorary Chair of the Global Center on Adaptation, Your Excellency Macky Sall, 4th President of the Republic of Senegal and Supervisory Board Chair of the Global Center on Adaptation, Professor Patrick Vakoyen, the Chancellor of the University of Nairobi and President and CEO of the Global Center on Adaptation, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Let me begin by experiencing Kenya's profound gratitude for convening this landmark event, the groundbreaking ceremony for the Global Center on Adaptation, Africa headquarters here in Nairobi. This is a truly historic moment, one that marks a bold step forward for Kenya's leadership on climate action and for Africa's shared journey towards resilience. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this milestone has been years in the making. Just last year, His Excellency the President William Ruto met with Professor Vakoyen, the CEO of Global Center on Adaptation, to set in motion an ambitious vision establishing this headquarters as a beacon of Africa's innovation. For Kenya, this headquarters reaffirms our place as a continental leader in climate action. The President's directive was clear: to create a world-class institution that embodies Kenya's commitment to adaptation and positions Nairobi as Africa's hub for sustainable solutions. For Africa, it represents a united front against climate vulnerability, a place where ideas become actions and plans deliver progress. And for the world, it stands as a powerful reminder adaptation is no longer optional. It is an urgent necessity that demands courageous leadership. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Kenya has long been at the forefront of climate adaptation, championing solutions that address the urgent challenges posed by climate change. From the devastating droughts that have threatened our food security to the floods that have disrupted the economy and lives and livelihoods. The impacts of climate change are not abstract, they are our daily reality. Yet, in the face of these challenges, Kenya has emerged as a beacon of innovation and resilience. Our National Adaptation Plan is a testament to our determination to turn climate risks into opportunities. The establishment of the GCA Regional Office in Nairobi is aligned with this vision. It is a recognition of Kenya's role as a hub for climate action and a catalyst for transformative change across the continent. Today, we elevate this partnership to new heights. The GCA Africa headquarters will become a nerve center, knowledge sharing, policy innovation, and scalable solutions that Africa and the world urgently needs. we reaffirm our pledge to host not just a building, but a global epicenter for adaptation knowledge, finance, and leadership. Let us seize this moment with determination and optimism. The future is resilient, and it begins here in Nairobi. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this remarkable achievement is a testament to the power of partnership between the Government of Kenya, the GCA, and visionary allies. And with its nature-inspired design, this headquarters will stand as a symbol of harmony between humanity and the environment, an inspiration to us all. I thank you very much.
Let's give a warm applause again. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of Kenyan Defense Forces, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, the fourth President of the Republic of Senegal, and the Chair of Supervisory Board of Ruto Center on Adaptation, Mark Sall, Your Excellency, the eighth Secretary General of the United Nations and Honorary Chair of the Supervisory Board of Ruto Center on Adaptation, Ban Ki-moon, Cabinet Secretary for Environment, Climate Change, and Forestry, Dr. Deepak Barasa, all the Principal Secretaries present, Chief Executive Officer of Ruto Center on Adaptation, and University of Nairobi Chancellor, Professor Patrick, Board of Directors and Management of Kenya School of Government, led by Professor Nura Mohammed, and the Chairman, Retired Justice Charles Nyachai. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jambo. Mr. President, I am a little bit under weather. The weather has not been very kind, so my voice might be a bit different from usual. Your Excellency, I am honored and proudly privileged to stand before you on this historic groundbreaking ceremony of the Ruto Center on Adaptation Headquarters. I congratulate you, Your Excellency, sir, for taking the bold step towards implementation of the agreement that was reached at the COP28 Conference 2023. This agreement resolved that GCA, Africa headquarters, to be set in Nairobi, Kenya, as a hub for addressing climate change and promoting sustainable development in Africa. Your Excellency, before I make my remark on this historic moment, permit me, sir, to acknowledge and appreciate the team of public officers from the Ministry of Public Service, Human Capital Development and Special Programs, led by the Principal Secretary, Dr. Kere Ibunya, and also Mr. Ismail, and other secretaries, Bongo, and the entire team. And also, I recognize and appreciate the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, also led by P.S. Ngoe, Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, Forestry, and all of them are here. Ministry of Land, Public Works, Housing, and Urban Development, Office of the Attorney General, and the Board of Directors and Director General of Kenya School of Government that work tirelessly to ensure the success of today's event. I remember, Your Excellency, your instructions were very clear to all of us. Most of these officers, public officers, were in the office on Saturday as well as on Sunday, through your very firm instruction, Your Excellency. I congratulate all these public officers for the work which they have done. I also want to thank and appreciate the participants of COP 2028 Conference 2023 and the Ruto Center on Adaptation for choosing Nairobi as the home of GCA Africa. This is a vote of confidence in Kenya's commitment to sustainable development, protection of environment, and the natural resources. Your Excellency, sir, Kenya has ratified the Convention on Biological Diversity, the Africa Convention on Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, and the United Framework Convention on Climate Change. It has also adopted the Montreal Protocol that addresses ozone-depleting substances and the Kyoto Protocol that focuses on reduction of greenhouse gases emissions. Sustainable development is now a value and principle of national governance in Kenya under the Article 10(2)(d) of our Constitution. Clean and healthy environment and natural resources are also protected under the Article 42, Article 69, Article 70, Article 71, and 72 of our Constitution. Africa is vulnerable to climate change, and Kenya has demonstrated its readiness to lead in climate resilience initiatives. GCA Africa will be a valued partner in this. Your Excellency, sir, GCA Africa Headquarters project in Europe is yet another major milestone in Kenya's commitment to sustainable development, sustainable exploitation of resources, utilization, management, and conservation of the environment and natural resources. GCA Africa Headquarters project represents hope and humanity as it aims to champion climate adaptation in Africa by providing scientific insights and recommendations in key sectors such as food security, natural environment, water, cities, infrastructure, disaster risk management, and finance, and more so climate finance. So, Your Excellency, sir, today we not only lay a brick and mortar foundation of the landmark facility in Kenya, or groundbreaking, but also a foundation of dedicated action and collaboration on climate adaptation across Africa continent. Your Excellency, at a personal level, since the year 2009 up to the August 2022, when I was elected Member of Parliament, I worked in climate mitigation and adaptation projects across Southern Africa region. I was involved in climate resilience initiatives in Kenya, in South Africa, in Malawi, in Madagascar, in Namibia, in Mozambique, as well as in DRC. I therefore fully associate with the objectives of Global Center on Adaptation and the need for proposed GCA Africa Headquarters in Nairobi. It is therefore gratifying to witness the operationalization of the partnership between Global Center on Adaptation and Kenya School of Government and an institution that is under my ministerial responsibility. I thank you, Your Excellency, sir, for entrusting me with the charge of actualizing your resolve to operationalize the dream of COP 2028 conference in the year, COP 28 conference in the year 2023. Your Excellency, the physical benefit of because the project component include the GCA Africa Headquarters that will house the GCA Africa team, the Masingira Uduma House that will house the Ministry of Environment, and the residential feeders and department that will showcase and prioritize climate adaptive and ensure sustainability of their programs. I hope, Your Excellency, as I close, that African education curriculums will be enriched by and through activities of GCA, so as to provide the country and the continent with innovative and practical solutions to sustainable development, sustainable exploitation, utilization, management, and conservation of environment and the natural resources. With your permission, sir, my Ministry of Public Service, Human Capital Development and Special Program intend to enhance the mandate and the curriculum of the Kenya School of Government by introducing continuous professional development programs through which the school will sensitize all public officers on sustainable development and management and conservation of the environment and natural resources as part of the public service culture. Your Excellency, I congratulate you as we commence construction of the GCA Africa House, Mazingira House, and other facilities which will be constructed here. And as you turn the vision of transforming Africa climate resilience into reality, I thank you, sir, and may GCA Africa Headquarters Project serve as a symbol of Africa adaptation of sustainable development, sustainable exploitation, utilization, management, and conservation of environmental and natural resources. I thank you, sir, and may God bless you and all the actors who are making this a reality, from Professor Patrick to His Excellency the President Macky Sall, and also to His Excellency the President Ban Ki-moon. May God bless you all. And therefore, and with those remarks, Mr. President, it's my privilege and honor, and with your permission, sir, to welcome the fourth President of the Republic of Senegal, His Excellency Macky Sall, to come and address this congregation. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, President William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, and dear brother, Your Excellency, Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, and Madam Ban, Excellencies, Member of the Government, Madam Bangura, from the UN, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Mr. President, I'm a little bit sorry for my voice because I got cough here, because I found Nairobi with a very cold weather at this summertime in the North Hemisphere. So please accept my apology for that. Let me begin by deeply thanking my dear brother, President William Ruto, and the people of Kenya for your friendship, your hospitality, and for your leadership. President Ruto, your leadership on climate is clear. You have made Kenya a center for your efforts. It is also a privilege to stand with a global leader, His Excellency Ban Ki-moon. As Secretary General, your legacy speaks for itself. As the 8th Secretary General of the United Nations, you secured the Paris Agreement. Only this point is a big legacy for the humanity. So thank you, Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. Allow me also to recognize Professor Patrick Verkoyan, CEO of the Global Center on Adaptation. It is thanks to your determination that the GCA has grown into a force for real solutions. Your Excellencies, this is an important day for Africa, the absolute front line of the climate crisis. Yet, our groundbreaking marks a new era, one of renewed and equal partnership, North-South and South-North. Our new dual headquarters on the Global Center on Adaptation, I'm proud to serve as the chair of the board. And to be here with you today as we break ground for this unique new dual headquarters, as you said. Nairobi, Mr. President, is the perfect place for this office. It is dynamic, well-connected, forward-looking, one of the leading global centers for the planet. And congratulations. Adaptation is not secondary. It is a lifeline. Without adaptation, we know there can be no sustainable development. I'm proud that the GCA will anchor its work here in Nairobi, and especially proud that the AAAP, Africa's flagship program, will now be positioned to grow stronger from this very place. And Mr. President, we count on you to be our best ambassador and envoy on the name of Africa and the name of all the Global South to develop this AAA 2.0. This is not just an office, it is a platform for African voices and African solutions, home ground. The GCA looks forward to working hand in hand with Kenya, with Africa, and with the world. Together, we can build a more resilient Africa.
I welcome you, these very distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen. Jameni, let's all be upstanding and we welcome the President with a round of applause. Welcome, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Please, let's take our seats. I know, just hold on, gentlemen. Oh, okay, it's okay. You can. I know that this morning represents a very important occasion. We have come here to do the groundbreaking ceremony for the dual headquarters here in Kenya, representing the Global South of GCA. I know also that we have transitioned from the chairmanship of His Excellency Ban Ki-moon to that of, please, come and make your statement.
Your Excellency, GCA, Macky Sall, and our dear Macky Sall, and our dear and all this manager, core manager of this GCA, Verkuyen, and the ministers, ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen. I was not scheduled to speak, so let me just say briefly how I appreciate the leadership and commitment and his own carrying on, working together with the world leaders to make sure that our humanity and our global earth will remain safe and sound. It's not only for retirement from the United Nations. It's almost approaching 9th year now. Many people ask me, what did you do during your 10-year service as a Secretary General? What are you proud of? I clearly said that I did my best effort to bring all the leaders of the world, political leaders, business leaders, civil society leaders, to join their hands on the deck together to address the rapidly approaching climate change issues. This is what scientists have confirmed, 120%. For me to make sure that my voice becomes stronger and convincing to other people, I should have known what is really happening. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a political scientist, and I'm not an economist. I didn't know much about climate issues. That's why I really wanted to lead by example, so that I would be able to convince the people, so that what I believe must be convinced by other people around the world, starting from political leaders. There were many political leaders who were not convinced if and whether this climate phenomena was approaching. I visited 5 times Arctic areas. First, Antarctica, 4 times Arctic area, risking my own safety as a Secretary General. I standing on the melting ice, I've been speaking out to the people of the world. The global class has to small island developing state in the South Pacific, Caribbean Sea, so you name it. That's why I was able to lead this campaign. I have been speaking out to, first of all, convince President Bush of the United States. He was not much convinced. Just like it's quite strange, just like the current President of the United States is not convinced. This is very sad. This is a crisis. This is a global crisis, starting from top and most powerful country. Of course, I'm not here to complain about this. He withdrew from Paris Climate Change Agreement twice, during his first term and after that second term. This is not acceptable. In the name of humanity, in the name of global citizens, I think we must speak out, speak out. This is what I believe, and this is what many scientists, now small children in the elementary school, they now understand. They are now speaking out. Young generations are speaking out. Women are speaking out. I've been speaking out that addressing this current crisis, like climate change or sustainable development goals, cannot be done by any single country. Any single country, however powerful, however resourceful one may be, cannot do it alone. United States cannot do it alone. European Union, they are the most well-to-do, well-organized countries. United Nations, European Union cannot do it. In such a case, then Africans, of course, Africans are the most hit, most severely hit without addressing anything. So you hold this amount of greenhouse gas emissions emitted by 54 African countries, less than just 5%, while China, 24%, while United States, 14, 15%. United States, China combined, two countries produce almost 40% of global emission. Does it make sense? Are they really doing what they should do? I believe that China fully understood they are doing. We have to urge the United States, speak out, speak up, that US must join. I'm sure that whoever may be elected president next time, they will join. But even a single moment, 10 minutes, 1 hour, is precious to us. It's only African countries who will suffer the most, who has contributed the least. It's unfair. Those people, those countries, 54 countries, who have at least almost nothing for current. But Mr. President, you cannot do it alone. However, you are the president, powerful. Hold your people. I have only moral responsibility. But those you are sitting here, I have only moral responsibility. But those you are sitting here, mostly you have political responsibility. President Ruto, you have 100% political responsibility. Please work your comrade, now presidents, prime ministers, and ministers of Africa. When Africans are united, there will come support from other regions. I'm sure that US will join us soon. It's a matter of time. Asians, Chinese, Koreans, all will be there. So ladies and gentlemen, let us work together, joining your hands on the deck, that one day your great children should be proud that my grandfather, my grandmother did all what they should do. This is what your strong commitment. That's why I am here as a private citizen, now as honorary chairman of GCA. I will do my best. So I thank you very much, and let us praise President Ruto's leadership, and also all of you, to make sure that our world, people, and planet Earth, the only planet Earth we have found, will be safe. safe and sound and sustainable. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Secretary General. Let's take our seats. I am not quite sure, Your Excellency Ban Ki-moon, that you were not prepared to speak. I think you have spoken better than even those who had wanted to speak. And thank you very much for your comments and the passion you demonstrate on matters climate change. Your Excellency Ban Ki-moon, 8th Secretary General of the United Nations and Honorary Chair of the Global Center on Adaptation, Professor Patrick Vakoyen, President and CEO of the Global Center on Adaptation, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Kenya, like many African countries, is experiencing the harsh realities of climate change, as has been very ably spoken to by our former Secretary General. From prolonged rains, prolonged droughts, to devastating floods and unpredictable weather patterns, our communities and ecosystems are under to respond effectively. It is therefore my privilege and honor to join you this afternoon for the groundbreaking ceremony for establishing the Global Center on Adaptation dual headquarters here at the Kenya School of Government. This occasion symbolizes a new chapter in Africa's response to the escalating climate crisis. The establishment of this center is timely. It is also strategic and visionary. It will serve as a regional platform for policy dialogue, cutting-edge research, and capacity building to accelerate climate adaptation at all levels and climate resilience. As a country, we remain deeply committed to Kenya's national priorities. Sustainable development and climate resilience, the National Climate Change Action Plan, and the aspirations under our Vision 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, the Global Center on Adaptation will be a hub of adaptation, innovation, public service training, and policy support. It will bring together researchers, practitioners, policymakers, and development actors to design and deliver practical, scalable solutions on matters adaptation. Most importantly, it will help strengthen institutional resilience, particularly at the devolved levels of government through specialized training and also through technical support. Through this collaboration, we aim to place climate adaptation at the heart of public service training, performance management, and leadership development. This will ultimately support institutional re-engineering for climate-responsive governance. As a country, we reaffirm our long-term commitment to supporting this initiative. I remember when I visited the floating office in Rotterdam, and I did make a commitment on the behalf of the people and government of Kenya, and in my very strong belief that we have solutions that we can offer. And though we are suffering the effects of climate change, we do not want to be just victims. We want to be part of crafting solutions and crafting a future that all of us can live in. It is my very strong commitment that the old style of trying to point fingers at who did what, or trying to blame one as against the other, or the rivalry between the North and the South will not give us solutions. It is the partnership that we can forge between the South and the North, between those who are responsible and those who are victims. And that is how we are going to craft a solution. We're going to craft a new future that will be sustainable for all of humanity. It is a place in history where Africa must contribute its resources, its natural, human resources, and its expertise and knowledge and understanding to craft a future that is not just sustainable, but a future that serves all of humanity. It is the reason why Kenya has taken a front lead in matters climate action and in providing leadership for our continent as we work towards forging a united front and dealing with the challenges that come with matters climate. Just for the record, Kenya is 80% arid and semi-arid. And we understand full well what a drought means. We also know what floods can do. Just 2 years ago, we had the most serious drought in 40 years of Kenya's history. We lost almost 2.5 million heads of livestock. And subsequently, the year after, we had very serious floods that people in this city of Nairobi, close to 30 people lost their lives in those floods. So we know what climate change means because we live through the effects every day. And I agree with Ban Ki-moon that there are world leaders, there are senior policymakers that are yet to come to terms with the realities of climate change. But that doesn't mean that we cannot forge a future together. It is our responsibility, and Ban Ki-moon said he's not a scientist. I am a scientist, and so I can speak to this subject with greater authority. And I want to persuade those who still second guess the effects of climate change that we are living a reality. Climate change is real. The effects it's having on our climate are real. Floods, we just recently saw floods in the US, devastating floods. In the US, they are on our screens. We are seeing effects of climate change in different parts of the world. And you see, the effects of climate change are democratic. They don't affect any part of the continent more than the other. We share almost equally in the effects of climate change, and therefore we must forge the way forward and the solutions for it together, because none of us is safe. And therefore, through this collaboration, we aim to place climate adaptation at the heart of public service, as I said. And as a country, we reaffirm our long-term commitment to supporting this initiative. We shall closely work with the Global Center on Adaptation to align national policies and facilitate interagency collaboration. To our partners, I urge you to embrace the opportunities presented by this center. Let us work together to embed climate resilience into our operational plans, policies, and development frameworks to strengthen climate-smart planning and service delivery. To our development partners and the private sector, your expertise and support remain vital. We invite you to collaborate with the Center in scaling innovation, sharing knowledge, and creating solutions that serve not just Kenya or our continent, but our global audience. I wish to thank all the stakeholders. I know many people worked long hours to be able to put this successful groundbreaking ceremony today. Many staff, they know themselves. Many people worked long hours, I know that very well. Many people worked on Sunday, others worked on Saturday. I remember making several phone calls. I apologize for disturbing your weekends, but it was necessary because this climate crisis is real. And therefore, the center that we are building here that is going to harness expertise, bring policymakers into this space, bring development actors, is a necessary emergency. If climate action is an emergency, climate adaptation is more than an emergency. And therefore, the setting up of this office that is also going to provide space for our Ministry of Environment at no cost to the government of Kenya is a very welcome development. I remember having a conversation with Patrick, and we agreed that they are going to spend close to 1.7 billion shillings to put up this office, and we are going to share that office so that we can share the benefits and experiences and the research and knowledge that will be developed in this center with the government of Kenya as we provide leadership on climate action across the continent and beyond. Today, we plant a seed that will grow into a beacon of resilience, innovation, and excellence. Let this center stand as a symbol of Kenya's leadership in climate adaptation and of our collective commitment to a sustainable and secure future for all of us. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.
With that, Your Excellency, I seek your indulgence for a quick photo opportunity. Please, let's take our seats. Kindly, let's take our seats. Allow me to invite the following to join His Excellency for a photo. His Excellency Macky Sall, His Excellency Ban Ki-moon.